Welcome to Truth Be Told About Going Wild. I'm your host, Robert Hensley, and this is the podcast inspired by the principles of personal rewilding. This week, I want to take a look at the fourth principle, for real this time, the fourth principle of personal rewilding, which is honoring our wild ancestors. Wild ancestors are literally just those who came before us. Right? It's just more fun than saying honoring our ancestors or honoring the past. But wild ancestry really is taking a closer look at the relationship that our forefathers and foremothers had with the natural world. Because we know through research that trauma and successes are written in our DNA, right? When something happens to strongly affect a person and their mindset, that kind of kicks in a evolutionary response that starts to change the DNA, and then our offspring start to carry those same inherited traits, thoughts, feelings, traumas, and successes. So how we relate to the natural world starts with them. Starts in the past, right? So think of it this way. So someone, say you are deathly afraid of water. You've never had a water trauma. You're not sure why you're afraid of water. But if you look close enough, there's probably someone in your past, a genetic link directly to you, that suffered some form of water trauma. And that has become an inherited response. And so that is kind of how we learn more about our relationship to the natural world, is what are we carrying from the past? What do we need to change in the present to help create a better future? Because remember, from the time that we are born, we are ancestors, right? There's always a generation behind us. So the decisions that we make are affecting the future, just like the decisions that our ancestors made affected us in the present. We can change the future. And that's why it is so important to honor our wild ancestors, to take a look at the past and really understand where we come from, how we got to where we are, and what we want that to be in the future, where we want that to go. That's really important. I will also suggest that when you're talking about wild ancestors, that this becomes a question of if you don't have a familial link or a direct link to an ancestor that you can speak with, that you can glean from on one-on-one, that any kind of oral histories or family stories, if you're lucky enough to be in a family where someone has written a biography or an autobiography of those before you, take advantage of those things. Learn as much as you can about the lives that they had in the past, their relationship to the natural world, their, again, and those could be, dreadful stories. Maybe it didn't go so well for them. Maybe that's why you have a block trying to connect with nature now. Maybe things went incredibly well. Maybe they learned to live with nature, learned to excel in the natural world. And that's why you are a person who feels at home and have a very easy relationship with the natural world. These are all things that, again, happen in the past, but affect the present. And that we need to think about as ancestors, right? Because we want to be able to control and change things for the future in the way that we want, right? Not that we want to allow for traumas and drama to be the only inherited response that those coming behind us are left with. So in the future, next week, we will be looking a little more closely at oral histories, how those work. If you are so inclined, I'll give you information about recording your own oral histories, making a record of the past, of the history of the family, of the ancestors that you have connection with, so that you can not just use that for yourself, but those coming behind you can also access that and understand how your past has changed your present and how your present is changing their future. So, thank you so much for joining me today. Remember that there are 3 opportunities every week for new content from the Truth Be Told family of podcasts on the Club Paranormal channel on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe to that channel. Tony Sweet every Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern, with the original Truth Be Told. Bonnie Burkert on Wednesdays with Truth Be Told Transformation, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern. And of course, what you're listening to now, Truth Be Told About Going Wild, same time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern on Mondays. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, would like to know more about personal rewilding or some of the work that I do, please feel free to visit my website at www.rhnaturereconnect.com. Again, that's rhnaturereconnect altogether.com. And until next time.